Are you somebody who has recently discovered that there is more out there? That there is an underlying consciousness that connects us all, that is living, breathing, that is the fundamental aspect of reality. If this is you, then welcome, and welcome to my channel in which we speak about self-mastery and how we can live the best life from the inside out. And in today's video, I will be speaking about spiritual awakening. What does it mean? What are the important aspects to navigate after recently discovering that there is more out there than what the general collective is willing to admit to be true? So, a while ago, I was also in this position. And here are the things I wish I had known straight away for me to be able to have moved forward with this information in the best way possible for myself. So number one is that, yes, it is true. It is truth. And if you're here, you know that it's true. And you might still have voices within you that are like, am I crazy? Am I the only one thinking this? But I know it to be true. It's landed fully within me. So I know this is true. And yet, why does no one else know about this? Why is no one else talking about this? What's going on? So yes, it is true. And you are waking up to a truth of the fabric of our reality. So our reality is not only physical reality. It's not only what is tangible around us. There is more to it. We are not simply a physical body. We are not simply the human body. The brain is not what is creating consciousness within us. We are spirit. We are a soul housed in a human body. That's why our body is our temple. And not only are we a soul in a physical body, that soul is connected to consciousness, which is in everything. Everything around us is first and foremost consciousness or spirit or source or dark matter, whatever we want to describe it as. That comes first, and then the physical reality is an extension of this energy, of this underlying energy. And so that's why there is so much power or empowerment to give to ourselves when we know this truth, because we can work with that. We can work with our energy to create a different reality. We can work in the physical to create a different physical reality for ourselves. And we can also work on the energy and create a better emotional state, a better energetic state within us, which will also ripple out and change our physical reality around us. So, that's one thing that is super important and beautiful to have words for on this spiritual awakening journey. Another is that yes, we are all consciousness, and consciousness, it's one big consciousness. We are all part of the big sea of consciousness. And yet we are waves within that sea. We are all individual waves within this big sea of consciousness. So while we are all one, we are all connected, we are all the same consciousness experiencing itself from different perspectives. We are also those different perspectives. And so both is true. And this is where the paradox, we start to understand that the paradox is true. Two seemingly opposing aspects are true. And they are actually the same, just on a different side of the scale. So we are a body, a human body. We have aspects within ourselves that are more in tune with that side of ourselves. The lizard brain, our ego, the one that wants to protect, the one that feels that we are completely separate, that we are a separate body. We have that aspect, that voice within us. And we also have other voices within us, which are also true. We have the voice of our soul, which knows that it's connected to this big consciousness, that we are all one, that we are all connected. Both are true. Both are aspects that we get to work with within ourselves. And when we come into the awareness that we have multiple different aspects within ourselves, we can start reconciling them. Because initially it may feel like, well, why am I coming from this voice where it's more from fear or feeling isolated, lonely, feeling like I need to protect myself, or feeling like I am an individual and I have to do everything myself. We have that aspect within us. And we also have the aspect of love, unconditional love. Our soul is unconditional love. We have that aspect within us that is tuned in to the fact that we are connected with everything. And so initially it might feel like we're kind of going in between the two. It's like sometimes we're coming from this voice of love and we feel really inspired and connected and we feel at one and at peace. Sometimes it might feel like, oh, I feel so isolated. I'm on my own. I'm scared. And so when these aspects start seeing each other, and really it's us coming from the soul and embracing our ego, because our ego is limited, so it cannot truly understand that there is more to it than just itself. So the more that we tune into our soul whilst looking at the ego, whilst holding the ego, whilst loving the ego, the more the ego can feel safe and held, and the more that we can come into wholeness. So we are multiple aspects, multiple different voices. We have multiple different voices within us, and we can reconcile them. And we can do that through shadow work, through inner child work, through meditation. There are so many different ways that we can do that. Then also what's so important is to understand that initially we might have the spiritual awakening and we might have all this understanding of what is true and what is real, and we don't know what to do with it. And also we might be feeling like, okay, I know this to be true and I'm still suffering. I'm still not feeling good. I know that love is everywhere, that love is the basis of everything. I know that God is real, or source is real, or this consciousness is real. And still I'm so in my suffering. I'm still in my little world. And I know this bigger world is out there that I can connect with, that I can tap into. And still I feel so much identified with this smaller world. And I want to be more in this bigger world. And to do that, there are so many ways we get to do that. One of the most powerful ways is meditation. Because through meditation, we are connecting to that larger world that is out there, to our soul, to our consciousness within. And by practicing that every day, we are bringing our awareness more into that. We are reprogramming ourselves, because we can have a spiritual awakening and have all this understanding. However, that doesn't necessarily instantaneously change all our programs. We can still have negative thoughts about ourselves, about others, about our circumstances, whilst also knowing that we are powerful souls in a human body. And so that's when we get to empower ourselves to connect more with that empowered voice, with that voice of the soul. Because by doing that, we are rewriting those programs, those stories, they're still very much well rehearsed. We are rewriting them and coming into the new story of, yes, I am a limitless being, I am a soul. And the more that I tune into my soul, tune into these high frequencies, the more I'm shifting my awareness from the limited self, from the ego, from the old stories, from the stories of victimhood or whatever it may be, to this experience, these stories of empowerment, of love, of fulfillment, empowering ourselves to use this information of the spiritual awakening to be able to move forward with it in a beneficial way. And there is so much more that could be shared around this topic. I'm going to leave it here for now. However, I just want to congratulate you. Congratulations for having stepped into this new awareness that is true, that you are a soul, spirit, consciousness in a human body, that you are so powerful, that you can shift your reality through shifting yourself, that those stories of victimhood can become smaller and smaller and smaller as you step into this journey of tuning into the love within yourself, of being this empowered person who can actually do things to create positive shifts in your life. And if you are at the stage right now where you're feeling like, okay, I know this to be true, I found Tina and she's sharing these beautiful things with me that I can use. However, where are the people around me in my physical reality who can understand me? Where are they? Trust that they will come, and they might already be there. You might be in this vulnerable space where you've just understood all of this and you're not ready yet to share because it goes against the narrative of our society right now. And with time, you will start sharing. You will start understanding that I'm not alone and I can talk about these things that I'm experiencing that are more on an energetic level, on a psychic level, on this other level, the soul level. And when you start doing that, you will notice, oh, that person is experiencing the same. And if I hadn't shared this, they might have not felt emboldened to share with me that they've also experienced the same. Or just completely new people will come into your life who've also had a spiritual awakening, who are like, yes, let's go, here you are. Trust. It took me a good while to find those people, for the most part. Some of them were present, some of them not. However, as the journey has progressed, more and more have I tuned into the frequency of feeling worthy to be around those kind of people, and also rewriting the story enough within myself to then be in a reality where those people are a vibrational match to my frequency. So trust that they are around or are coming, and you are not alone on this journey. There are so many people who have undergone a spiritual awakening, and it is the natural progression of humanity right now. And it can be confusing, it can be terrifying, it can be like, what's going on with me? All of those things can also be true at the same time as, wow, this is the most amazing thing that's ever happened for me. I'm so glad that I have this awareness. I feel more alive, more connected in terms of consciousness. I have more intelligence available to me. Spiritual awakening is, for me, the most powerful thing that can happen in our lives. And it's also one of the things that can create the most beauty in our lives as well. It's like the doorway, the gateway, the portal to a completely different way of existing that is so much more joyful, so much more loving, so much more empowering, because the pain doesn't go away. We still get to experience pain and suffering. However, we get to experience it while knowing that we're good, not getting lost in the pain, which is the most painful thing we can experience. But when we experience pain whilst also being connected to love and our soul, we know that everything's going to be okay. I'm just allowing myself to move through this right now, and there will be another side to it. There will be a period of joy, and after that there will probably be a period of something less joyful again, and that's beautiful too. Moving through the waves. Everything is frequency, everything is waves. So let me know in the comments, how are you feeling about your spiritual awakening? What's been coming up for you? I would love to know what your experience has been like, so I can also understand. You can help me understand what else might be needed to support you on this journey. And if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and I'm super excited to see you in the next video.